Happy Sunday, guys. What's going on? As you guys can see, it's pouring. We are heading to our first toy show of the year. We're going to be meeting up with my boy Mike. Hopefully within the next couple weeks, we'll be going to his house and you guys can see the most insane collection I've ever seen in my life. So I'm going to run to my car now. Stay tuned. We're going to go to the toy show in Lake Worth. All right, guys, we are just getting here to Florida Toy Shows and Expo. We're here in West Palm Beach. And look, guys, we're just getting here and we're hitting up the first booth, which is all wrestling figures. If you're a big wrestling fan, I highly recommend checking this out. This is insane. I've never seen so many wrestling figures. We did bump into our friend Seth, and he was here purchasing some stuff. Now, I am here looking for some vintage Star Wars. And from what I was told by the owner, Jeff, that this show today was going to have nothing but vintage Star Wars figures. And as you guys can see, they are all here. Now, they do have some loose figures from the Clone Wars and some vintage figures as well. So this is pretty cool for anybody who likes to collect the Clone Wars figures. I don't personally, but I'm obsessed with this tub right now. I was this close of making this guy an offer for everything, but I'm just truly trying to save up for MegaCon. And I know that the next toy show that they have for this, I'm definitely going to be checking it out. They are coming back again to my neighborhood, which this show is 8 minutes away from my house. Now, the one thing I'm excited about this is I have been missing C-3PO for my General Mills collection. And to find this guy in the wild for the price of $30 is mint. Now, they did have a wide variety of Black Series figures. I got out of Black Series because they were just constantly making so many of them, plus with Funko Pops. But look at these. 4. This guy's got 4 of them. Now, again, more Star Wars figures. But this is more from the new wave. This is not the stuff that I collect, but they did have a cool collection. Now, this guy's booth is absolutely insane. Look at all this Star Wars. Now, he did offer me $75 for the do-back. I turned it down only because there was something that I did see that I definitely want to buy. Now, I love droids, and this toy company, for this guy to have almost every character still in its case is insane, and they're graded with their coins and their weapons. But I did notice he did have a case here of some of these loose figures, and I definitely have my eye on this. This is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to come back and we're going to make some arrangement here. Now, he did have some vintage play sets, and there was a table here who had a lot of G.I. Joes, which I'm pretty excited to see, but it's not my jam. But he did have some rare figures here, like the Dignitary. He had a yak face and a snaggletooth, and those are super rare to find. And most of the tables here, they did have some newer toys, but I love the fact that this toy show was meant for people who love vintage. Now, he was asking for $300 for that Jabba the Hutt playset, so I was thinking about maybe if I see it again in the wild, I'll definitely purchase it. They've got the Tatooine skiff. They had the sail barge. Now, look at this massive Hot Wheels. Now, I'll be honest with you guys, this show alone had massive collectors of Hot Wheel cars. They were trading like treasures and stuff, but I have to say, this was probably one of my coolest favorite booths to go to. They still had a sealed Star Wars Episode 1 racer game on the Switch. He was asking $30, but I didn't buy it because I don't have a Switch. But if I did, this was definitely something to have in your collection. Now, I'm getting ready to head out, but this was insane. I definitely had a great time. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. I know I don't have the toy room behind me, but soon, I promise. But as you guys can see, I went and checked out a cool toy show by me. They had a vast variety of vintage collectors. It was insane. I was able to obtain some stuff from my private collection, so I was very happy about that. And one of my first pickups was this General Mills C-3PO. Look how minty he is. The limbs are a little bit loose, but you know what? I couldn't find something like this in the wild. And for the price that I paid for, it was definitely worth a steal. So I get to add them now to my collection. Maybe I'll get one of my friends to tighten up the limbs up for me, but I was very happy about this. Now, before I got into the con, one of my really good friends, Mike, a while back in our group chat, we were doing pictures of like AI Jabba the Hutt, and I made a funny video of Jabba the Hutt like twerking, and they all know I love him. I've got him tattooed right here, and he ended up 3D printing for me this Jabba the Hutt that I had made a video for. So the guy who did it, I still haven't heard from him and told me who it is, but I definitely want to make more of these because they're freaking amazing, and I just think they're great. So guys, I have the first ever twerking Jabba the Hutt. All right, so my next pickups were, I picked up there was a table there that had a whole bunch of like mini Lego figures, so I was excited about that as well. And their pricing was like 3 for $10. So I was able to pick up this Jabba the Hutt, and he's a Lego. So I'm just gonna keep adding him to my collection of Jabbas. And then I wanted to do a pack where it was, hopefully I don't lose any of them. So I was able to pick up Anakin. You guys can see. I picked up Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then you guys know I gotta pick up Ahsoka Tano. So I was excited about this. I have almost every Ahsoka Tano Lego minifigure, even ones that are custom. And because I picked up those 3, I was like, you know what? Let's pick up some troopers. So I ended up picking up, I got Captain Rex. That's a cool one. Definitely if I'm picking up Rex, I gotta pick up Cody, which I was happy about this one. And then I got the Ahsoka Trooper. So this one's cool, which I find it funny. He did come with a gun, and then he also came with a darksaber. So we're gonna figure that out. I'm gonna pick up more of these when I go to MegaCon. I feel like almost every toy show now I'm picking up like little Lego minifigures, and I hope one day to obtain like a brick palette, or maybe get my friend Collector's Display, make me like a Collector's Display, but only for Lego minifigures. And I'll do like every character. So that was pretty cool. And then I'm gonna save my last pickup for last. I didn't pick this up at the comic book events, but this did show up, which I was very excited. It is a variant edition of the Darth Vader comic, but with Ahsoka Tano, and it's the 10th anniversary of Star Wars Rebels. So these are limited editions, they're 1 of 4, and I got the 1,147 out of 1,500. So this was really cool. I'm actually thinking about sending this out and getting it graded. I do have a couple of Ahsoka comics that I actually want to get graded so I can start displaying them on the wall when I finally start building the toy room. And my biggest possession that I picked up at this con. So some of you guys all know I love vintage Star Wars. It is my jam. I love it. I think it's absolutely cool. I love that anytime I get a vintage figure, the first thing I do is smell it. So if you see me at cons and you see me smelling stuff, it's because I got a vintage figure in my hand. But I'm obsessed with this storyline in Star Wars called DROIDS. Now, the vintage figures are very hard to find. And when you do, you're probably going to find them to be very expensive. Well, I made friends with this one vintage collector. He had the most beautiful booth ever. He had some of the figures that I've always wanted. It was all nicely displayed. He had things graded. And then on the bottom, he had this case that was completely locked. And when I looked inside, he had every DROIDS vintage figure on there. So I didn't want to overspend because I know I'm going to MegaCon, but I did reach out to this dealer and I'm able to pick up the rest of the other ones. But I did pick up this amazing DROIDS figure. Look at this. It's in mint condition. This is from, on the back of the leg, it says 1985. There is like a slight scratch there, but for me to find this in the wild, not only with the figure, with his weapon, and this is the creme of the creme, with his Jord coin, and look at how mint this coin is. Like, to find this in the wild for $75. Now, if you're a vintage Star Wars collector, you absolutely know that that was a steal. Just the figure alone goes for 90 bucks. The coin goes for 50, and so does the weapon. So right there, I got a steal. The guy was super dope. I know other dealers there were networking with him like crazy because he was just being super fair. And I actually enjoyed having a good conversation with this guy. We talked about vintage Star Wars. We talked about being in the Star Wars community. He was really impressed that I was a girl that actually knew stuff about vintage figures because, like I told him, it's my jam. I breathe vintage. I wish I could afford it most of the time. But once we move and get our house, I'm definitely going to be, you know, changing up the room a bit. I am going to be doing half vintage, half modern. So it's definitely going to be fun, and I'm going to be able to collect some vintage figures that I desperately wanted and some play sets. But yeah, guys, that's what I picked up. I really appreciate you guys jumping on here and watching me. I know that I was gone for a while and wasn't really producing much videos, but I'm back. Definitely going to be doing more videos. We've got MegaCon coming up. I know we have other cons that are coming up as well. I'm lined up for that, so I'm pretty excited. I am going to MegaCon for 2 days. I'll be there for Friday and Saturday, so I will be filming all weekend long. And if you so happen to find me at MegaCon, come up to me and say hi. I am going to be passing little goodie bags and giving stuff away, stickers, maybe I'll do a little giveaway prize, and people got to play like a Easter egg hunt and find me. So thank you guys again. We're 50 away from hitting 2,400 subscribers. I'm excited about that. And again, guys, tune in, hit that notification button. I am going to be dropping videos more than I used to. And I'm just glad to be back in this lovely community called Star Wars. So I'll see you guys soon, and may the Force be with you.